The magic of the plunge in your own home is that you reduce all the barriers to resistance. What keeps people from doing what they say they're gonna do or what they know they need to do? And it turns out the more steps in the process, the less likely they are to use it. I call it freeze them. I'm no longer chained to an ice machine. I don't have to wake up and go get the ice. It's so simple and the water's crystal clear and I can jump in and out.
Any habit that I can create in my life that is gonna benefit multiple areas of my life, I wanna make that as easy and as streamlined as possible. And when it comes to cold therapy, I've been a believer since I was in college. When we got introduced to the cold plunge, and now, because it's so easy, because every time I go through the garage and I walk by that thing, it's like winking at me, like, Carrie, get in here. I do it most every day. The ease of use, the sophistication of the whole setup just makes it just so easy to commit to on a daily basis.
My name is Samantha Lane, and I am the owner of TGP CrossFit. The athletes that I've had go and submerge in the plunge have absolutely felt amazing afterwards. They recovered quicker. The aches and pains that they felt prior to going into the tub, they didn't feel them afterwards. Their energy levels were higher.
The plunge has definitely helped because I sometimes don't feel like coming in the next day, but if I do the plunge, I know that I am able to come in the next day, refreshed, ready to go.
We've had our members completely happy about the add-on and given the ability to incorporate this type of recovery into their daily routines.
So the beauty of having your own plunge is always having cold, clean water whenever you want it. So when designing the plunge, I aimed to make that as easy as possible and for the water to just stay clean all the time. So the idea with the system is the plunge is constantly filtering, and we're going through a 20 micron filter. We're also using ozone, which helps kill pathogens. And we're also using UV. So the combination of ozone and UV actually creates hydroxyl radicals, which kill pathogens and is a really powerful oxidizer. And so the plunge is constantly filtering in a circular manner. So we have a whirlpool effect because you want water moving, right? When you get into a stream that has a lot of movement, that water is always much more clear than a pond that's stagnant. So we have constant motion, always injecting ozone through UV, and that leads to just minimal maintenance, clean water whenever you want it.
I grew up in a little Bavarian mountain town, and we were always in the rivers and always in the lakes. And we found some joy in the shock of getting cold, the joy in how different that felt. There's something powerful to exposing your body to cold. But I think because I grew up playing and around and being cold was part of the game, there is some exposure to that. There's some sort of truth that you understand as a young person, the joy, the excitement, but also intuitively you feel like this feels good. It feels like I'm alive. As an adult, man, it's harder to get back to the river. It's harder to get cold. It's harder to have those experiences and have a day job. And I tell you what, having a plunge makes me feel like a kid again.
I plunge about 3 to 5 times a week. I do karate probably 4 days a week. We're throwing and falling a lot. And I'll have a new injury every week that I'm trying to maintain. I love Plunge as a cold therapy treatment because it is so effective and immediate. I had an experience where I was in so much pain I was taking a lot of pharmaceuticals, and I just decided it wasn't the answer for me. For me, Plunge is the thing that will not only balance my nervous system, but will also take the pain away and take it away the longest and the quickest.
Today's a great day. The folks from Plunge have brought the Huberman Lab podcast a brand new cold plunge. I'm delighted because I've been doing cold in some form or another for, since 2015. I went over to Spain to learn it from the great Wim Hof, and then actually brought Wim and family out to the Bay Area to talk to some tech companies. So I'm a big believer in using the cold for various health reasons, building resilience, fat loss, lots of things. I think there's a lot of confusion about the science of cold, and so it's perfect timing to get a plunge, because the next month of the Huberman Lab podcast is going to be all about human and sports performance. We're going to talk a lot about cold, and we are going to offer up some science-based protocols, how to use cold for fat loss, building resilience, healing and inflammation, these sorts of things. And those protocols will be housed free of charge over at the Plunge website. And so you can check it out. And thanks so much, guys, for bringing this along. I'm excited to get in it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get in the plunge right now.
I'm a student. I work here and I go to school full time. I have 2 majors and a minor. I'm constantly busy and doing things, and I find that the plunge has really allowed me mentally not only to take time for myself and really listen to my body and what my body's saying, but to have that confidence and belief in myself that I'm a strong, powerful person. If I can do these things and push myself in a physical way, I can do it in a mental way too. I have established that confidence in myself that has, migrated out of the spa and into my personal life, my work life, my professional life, of knowing I can take on things that are challenging, I can take a risk, I can, do all these other things, because it's just made me a better human being.
recently started a daily practice that's cold plunging, and it's been bringing so many incredible benefits into my life that today I wanted to share it with you guys. You can experience increased immune support, better sleep, better energy, better mood, overall decrease in muscle aches and pains and soreness. And for me, the thing that I love the most is actually the mental toughness that it requires to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, such as freezing cold temperatures, having to surrender to the thing that you can't control, which is the cold, and having that tangible experience of overcoming something that you didn't want to do or that you thought was too hard to do. A lot of people, they say, put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, but how often in your life do you actually do that? By incorporating a daily practice like cold plunging, I'm getting that daily experience every single day doing that, so that when something else comes up in my life, I am so much more confident and so much more ready to go at it head first, because I've already done it multiple times. I've already overcome that multiple times. Something that's really cool about the cold plunge that I use is that it has a filter system, so the water stays clean, it cleans itself, and it's also temperature controlled. So all you do is press a little button to go to whatever temperature it is that you like. So no hauling bags of ice, no having to do that anymore. It's actually ready to go. As soon as you get it delivered to your doorstep, you just fill it up, you connect 2 cords into the filtration system, and then it'll cool overnight, and then you're ready to go for your first plunge. So let me show you guys how it works. I'm not sure how long it took this time, but I felt my body like settle into it. And that's really the key, is to utilize your breathing to make yourself calm down. Your body immediately goes into fight or flight response. So everything inside of your mind is telling you, oh my gosh, this is way too cold. You're not okay. You need to survive. Get out of this cold. And by controlling your breathing and focusing on that, it allows you to surrender to the cold, calm yourself, and reach this state of presence. And once you do that, I find that there are levels of surrender. So right now I feel surrendered, but if I just focus for a minute, I can actually go deeper. And you guys didn't see anything, but all of a sudden I thought I was being still and calm, but I was actually pretty tense throughout my legs and my body. So the more that I focus, the more that I breathe, I can actually just get even more weightless, it feels. So that tense, I can, release the tension, I can settle in. And now, I feel amazing. This is awesome. This is one of my favorite daily practices, if not the daily favorite practice that I have. I did do a full podcast with one of the founders of the Cold Plunge, and we had such an incredible discussion on cold plunging, the benefits of it, and how we individually use it, which is different, and how we found works best for us. So that will be linked down below if you guys want to hear that full podcast, which is also available in a YouTube video as well. One of my tricks for getting in the cold plunge when you don't want to do it is just to set the timer for 10 seconds more than what it is that you want to do. And so I'll just say, Alexa, set the timer. Oh, don't do it again. I'll say, Alexa, set the timer. And once she goes, I have no option but to get in because the timer's already going, and I want to make sure I get my 3 minutes. So just a little tip in case you deal with the thought and the overwhelming, I don't want to do it, just make yourself do it. It's really nice because this has a slanted back, so you can lay your head back and actually feel pretty comfortable doing that.